Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Globe Seekers podcast, where I help you expand your mind and become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. How are we doing today? And realistically, I want you to ask yourself this in whatever moment you're in right now. How are you feeling? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling content? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling lost? What is it? Whatever it is, when you come to that conclusion, I want you to try to just be okay with that feeling. This is something that I've had to really work on this week. This week I've been feeling pretty good. I have been getting back into my routine. Now that I'm back home, I've been feeling a lot better. But personally for me, I used to be a chronic self-improver, a perfectionist, an all or nothing type of girly. And so even now when I try and get back into routines, or if I fall off of something, there's still the old version of me that wants to just go full force. And when I don't, because that's not healthy, when I don't, I still have these thoughts sometimes about how I'm not doing enough, or how right now not feeling super happy and content with my life, that is technically bad and wrong, and we should try and get rid of this feeling. But over my years of healing, what I have been trying to do in the moments that I feel not the best is I just try and be with it. I try to be with myself. I try and just be okay with the fact that, I'm probably not doing everything that I need to be doing, or things still need to get done, or I'm confused, or I feel like my mind is going crazy right now, or I'm sad, or I'm whatever. And I just want you to do the same, whatever you are feeling. And if you're feeling happy and great and amazing and you're super motivated, then amazing, because we all need that. We all need to keep that energy. But I just wanted to say that because I feel like naturally we just want to rid any feeling that is not 100%. And I think life becomes a lot easier and less stressful and less serious when you just accept that things are sometimes just chaotic in your life. And who gives an F, honestly, this is life. So I hope we are doing pretty well, though. If you're watching on YouTube, my hair is out. I did my hair today for the first time in a very long time. We love it. It's a lot of freaking hair. If you don't watch on YouTube, then you'll know what my natural hair looks like because of my podcast art. But yes, the hair is out. The sun is out, but it's a little bit, I did close the blinds. Guys, I am having, honestly, I might as well just... At this point, it's not about me having time to create a beautiful podcast studio. I just think that I'm having a crisis. I don't know what to do with this corner of my internet, of my podcast, I should say. Now, again, if you are only listening on Spotify or Apple, you won't really be able to see, but I feel like most of you guys have probably checked out the Instagram, the YouTube channel at one point, but there's nothing to really even see, but I have a corner behind me and I want it to be cute and aesthetic, but I don't know, the camera angles, I don't know if they're going to be working correctly. I kind of want to buy a chair that's comfy and more cozy than the one that I'm sitting on now. I was thinking about getting a neon light that's not really neon, but it's a light. But then I'm like, is that too basic? And then I don't know what aesthetic or style that I want to go for. And I have this mirror here that I'd probably move. I'm kind of liking a brown aesthetic, a boho aesthetic, beach aesthetic, but then I'm like, do I want to change that? And then I'm like, it doesn't really matter because then I can change it if I want to. And me prolonging getting something just doesn't make sense at this point. So anyways, I don't know. I'm having a crisis. So if anyone wants to just decide for me, please let me know in the comments, honestly at this point. But yeah, I don't know. That was a rant that probably didn't need to happen, but it did. And we're here. So today I want to talk about how to be a better you every day. Now, before we get into some of my things, and I also asked you guys on Instagram, so I'm going to read out all of your responses, or a lot of them, I should say, not all of them, because there's a lot. I love you guys for always answering my questions, but I just want to talk about one thing. when I say how to be a better you every single day, I don't really mean any of these things that I'm going to list out that you would have to do every single day. And if you miss a day, then you're like not going to be the best version of you. I think you guys know at this point, I am very much so a cyclical being. I am very much so accepting the imperfections and the flows of life. And every single time I try and be linear and super, I don't even want to say consistent, because consistency can be something that happens once a week. It doesn't have to be every single day. But doing something so rigid, it never works, because it's literally impossible to do the exact same thing. Like, we're talking wellness, anything, right? Something good for your health, something good for your mental health, whatever, every single day. And I think that when we hold ourselves to a standards of doing something every single day, we just set ourselves up for failure. So I think the things that I'm going to say are things that you can implement in your life as much as you possibly can. But the things that I did list out from my personal list are something that honestly I have been the absolute most consistent with, and honestly probably do this mainly every day, but we'll talk about it. And then I'm going to give you my commentary on your guys' things, because I think some of you guys gave us some really good responses, and we are trying to be our best versions of ourselves, are we not? I'm waiting for the answer right now. What is the answer? It's fine. You don't need to answer, because it's obviously a yes. Yes, we are trying to always become the best versions of ourselves. And I'm recording this on August 1st. When you guys listen to this episode, it'll be like August 3rd, I think. By the way, the next day after you hear this podcast, I'm going to be seeing Central C. So just know that, and just follow me on Instagram so you can see some Central C content if you like him. A lot of you guys are very surprised that I listen to Central C or any UK rap or like rap in general, which I think is so funny. And I think one thing maybe I will talk about before we get into this is like, I'm very multifaceted, okay? I think for many reasons, I think partly it's because I'm mixed as well. Not to say that you can't like Central C or rap or any sort of cultured things if you were Caucasian. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. But I have a black side, I have a white side. And on top of that, I just don't like living my life in extremes. And honestly, I think just being a woman and having a cycle also plays a role in this, and just living seasonal. Like there's so many seasons of life that I live through on sometimes it feels like a week to week basis, but monthly, obviously yearly. And so I don't like to just like, I'm saying this because when I talk about self-development or advice or healing, and then if you go on my Instagram and you see me like at the gym listening to Central C, you'd be like, whoa, I didn't expect her to be listening to that type of music or like whatever. I don't like to just be this like healing girl or just listen to guided meditations all day or journal all day. Like, yes, I do the journaling. Yes, I take care of my body. Yes, I eat well. Yes, I move my body. But like also I go out and I have a great time. I go out and drink with my friends. Not often. Like, honestly, I really have the worst hangovers ever. So I just can't. But I listen to rap music. I swear a lot. That is actually a fun fact about me. I do swear a lot. It is not something that I'm proud of, but I also just like, that's just me. I grew up in a very like suburban, small town type of vibe where I just feel like everyone was just real and there's a lot of banter. And so in my personal life, for the majority of my relationships, I'm very like chilled and laid back and very accepting of others and just like normal. And I hope that I come across like that on obviously my content. I think for the most part, you guys like do feel like I'm like very accepting and like not perfect, but I'm very much so like that outside of even my content. So I don't know, another rant that was not really needed, but maybe this will just be an inspiration or a reminder to you that you do not have to be one way. Because last thing I'll say here, maybe not the last thing, but when I first got really influenced by the wellness girlies on Instagram back in the day, I was trying to live up to the standard of like whatever I saw on social media. So like I would see them drink their green juices every day, going on their hot girl walks when they weren't called hot girl walks back then. All of their white, clean aesthetic. And I would literally spend so much money getting all these supplements, and I would try and live their life, and I would literally fail miserably because I couldn't upkeep it. I didn't have enough money. And on top of that, I just like, maybe I could have my life kind of look the way that their lives look, but then that would only be like 30 seconds of my day, and then the rest of the day is like real and normal. And on top of that, back in the day when I was dealing with my mom's addictions, when I was literally like unhealthy, depressed, everything, like I was going through it. And then I just realized like I cannot live up to this standard. And then when I really actually became that, technically, I don't even want to say a wellness girly because I'm not really, but an influencer, a content creator, like truly, even now, of course my life looks amazing and pretty picture perfect, but I'm not even trying to do this. This is just my life. But honestly, it's still not perfect. And there are things that I just won't create or show if I feel like it is inauthentic to me. But I just want to say that because you might be trying to live up to a standard. And if you are really struggling with that, just know that it's okay. And honestly, eventually you just get there anyways. Like, if you can only have one green juice a week or a month and not every single day, like the way that you see your other girlies online doing it, just know that that is okay. And eventually, if you want to drink green juice every single day and you want your apartment to be super aesthetic and you want whatever it is that you want, just know that you can get that and you can have that. And that is totally fine, girl. I'm not even trying to strip that dream away from you because we all like nice things. But like, you don't have to break the bank and like it'll come, okay? So just do what you can. You don't have to do everything full force. All right, now I am truly done with the ranting. Okay, so I wrote a list of some things that help me become a better me every single day. And the first thing, and I think I kind of really already touched on this a lot, but that is to stop being so hard on yourself. And this is something that I constantly battle with, although it's a lot less and the voice is much smaller and less loud, I guess, than previous years. But, I still struggle with it now when I'm trying to achieve goals in my life or try to get things done, or when it comes to relationship issues or like whatever. It's like I expect myself to know the answer to everything and to do it perfectly and to do it right. And even when it comes to relationships, right? I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I was literally looking out the window and I was like, nobody has it figured out. This standard of a relationship, of what you are trying to achieve, or these expectations that you're holding, not to say that we shouldn't have expectations in relationships. Yes, we should. But like, we have this like picture of what it's supposed to look like. And if we don't get it in that moment, it's like we failed and or drop everything, restart. And of course, you have to know when to kind of let things go, especially when we're talking about relationships, but anything in general, right, in your life. But like, you have to understand that things take time. Things take you trying and then trying again and readjusting and micro adjusting. And so for you to be so hard on yourself when things aren't absolutely perfect is such flawed thinking. And it really keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck in the sense of like, when it comes to dieting and fitness, if you mess up one thing in your mind, like, oh my God, I had this piece of cake when I'm supposed to be on this diet. Well, it's Friday, so I guess I'll just start over on Monday. That's not a good way to be treating your body and living life, right? You should be picking yourself back up whenever you can, instead of being like, oh, okay, well, I'll just start whenever I feel like it just makes sense on like Monday or like whatever, or next season. Or even when it comes to relationship, when, you're struggling to work through something in a relationship, you go online and social media and these girls are being like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. And like, get you a man who's gonna buy you this, that, and the third, because an ugly man will do just the same. And he'll also leave you and this, that. So you might as well find a guy who has money, this, that, whatever. I'm just like pulling shit on my ass right now. But whatever it is, right? And then it makes you be like, you know what? Screw whatever I have here. I'm just going to walk away from it. But it's like, okay, again, we have certain standards for things and we have to like see when things really aren't working. But a lot of the time it's like we give up so fast and we're so hard on ourselves, and we just need to remember to relax. Okay. And the way that you are going to relax and just live in the present moment is to be okay with the imperfections of life, the imperfections of you, the imperfections of your relationships and your friendships and your opportunities and your career path and your whatever the hell you're going through right now. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's you that are putting rules and regulations and things placed on whatever it is you're trying to have. And you're the one that's creating more of this suffering, more of this unhappiness. It's unfortunate too, because we've never really learned how to be okay with the unknown or be okay with not having everything handed to us at every second. I think it doesn't help when we are the era of children that grew up on social media. And so naturally, we kind of did get everything at a push of a button or a dopamine kick right away, right? And we're so used to and addicted to the instant gratification, but that is so freaking fleeting. It is so fleeting. And you know that because we all really deep down hate TikTok and like short form content and just like, you know, we know it, but we still don't live it sometimes. And something that I've really learned as I've been growing up, girl, I'm 27, I'm turning 28 in November. I really understand this whole slow living and just like being in the present moment and not always being on that pursuit for the next thing, the next project, more money, more business, more everything. It is great that we do these things and we have goals in our lives, but something that I'm starting to really come to in my life is like, I don't want to just conquer it all and be perfect and get everything. I want to be in the present moment. I want to be okay with shit not being absolutely perfect and being happy anyways. I want to be able to look forward to all of the great things that are going to happen because I don't have them yet. All of the answers that I still don't have about things, but I will find them eventually. The relationship that I'm longing to have, the family, the home. Guys, girls, you guys know I'm trying to be a suburban housewife, but I will be working. And that's just because I love what I do. But listen, I want that so damn bad, but I'm also like so okay with not having that right now because I'm like, first of all, I know it's coming and like there's so much to be done and lived right now. I don't need to rush. I don't need to be perfect. So yeah, I guess not rushing and like not being hard on yourself kind of like went interchangeably there, but that is something that I really, really live by and something that I try and remind myself of all the time. I think something that really helps me not be perfect and also slow down is really connecting more to myself and what I want and having almost like a tunnel vision of how I want my life to look and feel. And I only listen and I only consume stuff that really nurtures what it is that I want in my life. Because this is the thing, like there are going to be so many people telling you how to live your life and what you should do and what you should be interested in and all these different podcasts and all these different courses and like you go on TikTok. I literally, and I feel like such a hypocrite because I do post on TikTok and I hope that I just post so that I can like help people, which I do. I know that I do, but like when I go on TikTok, I literally do not scroll on that app. I do not scroll. It hasn't been a thing for such a long time. I really just post, but sometimes if I'm trying to look for sounds, like I'll do it for a second and then I just can't even. And I just like scroll and I hear somebody telling me about how my relationship should be or like how to get this guy to commit to you or like what to do when this happens or like somebody's relationship not working out or like somebody crying because they lost a loved one or like a beautiful home in the suburbs that maybe I really want. And then on top of that, somebody's talking about freaking inflation and how everyone's broke and this, that. I literally scream. Like I literally scream when I go on that app because I'm like, I'm so done with listening to shit that I don't want to. And listen, it sounds a little bit, ignorant in this way when you say like, I don't want to listen to the news anymore or like, I don't want to hear what's going on in the world. And I am very aware of what's going on in the world right now and the pain and the suffering and there's always a tragedy. But in my reality, I would really love to be able to protect my peace in my mind. And I have gone through enough shit, and most likely you guys too, that I really do think it's just time that we protect our minds and our lives and we just tunnel vision and we focus in on what it is that we want in our lives. And so only consuming things that make you feel good, if that's what makes you feel good, just do it. Stop consuming things that don't make you feel good. Stop listening to people and their beliefs and their advice on telling you how you should act and move and be and whatever when it's not aligned with what it is that you really want in your life. And like, I hold a vision so goddamn strong within my mind of how I want my life to look and what I want. And there are definitely times, and I know you guys might even be surprised, but there's definitely still times that I doubt that. And I have those doubts because of outside sources of, well, you should be building this business and you should continue to do more and you continue to produce, and you should have, like, the man that you should be with should do this, that, and the third for you. And if not, you can't be with him. Or like, you should do this or that, or you should travel here before you settle down, and you shouldn't have kids until this age. I don't give a flying F anymore. And this is something that's taken me 27 years to get to. So hopefully you get to it sooner rather than later. But seriously, what I've come to realize is just decide to do what you want to do and do it shamelessly. And that is something that I'm on right now. And it takes practice though, right? It takes you stop second guessing yourself, stop doubting yourself, to tell yourself like, oh, I'm not doing enough. That's the thing, right? Like personally, one of my goals, like I've already kind of said, is I want a suburban home. I want a beautiful home in a neighborhood where it's very walkable and there's nature and there's peace, and I'm with my husband and I'm with my children and I'm doing social media and I'm doing the things that I love and I have my friends, and that's what I want. Okay? I don't want to be flown out to freaking Italy and to go live my best like single girl summer or like a rich auntie life. Listen, if that's what you want to do, amazing. But that's not what I want to do. But if you go on social media, you scroll, somebody's telling you that's what you should do. And then the opposite, somebody's telling you should have your kids. What do you want? Literally, what do you want? And go for it shamelessly. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. The next thing on my list of how to be a better you every day is to have a journal practice to redirect your thoughts. So I'm going to talk about journal practices a little bit more, but honestly, that is like, I would say 90% of the time I am journaling every single morning, and I'm writing out who I want to be, what I'm excited for, any feelings, anything that I'm going through, I'm writing it out. I think it's one of the most empowering things that I have been able to do for myself, because I've been able to train myself to get myself out of a rut, out of a low point, out of negative thoughts by simply pouring in positive thoughts into my mind. And now I definitely get help through certain people online that I watch on YouTube to get my mind right. But cultivating a practice where you're able to tell yourself a new story, a better story when you are feeling like crap, will literally change your life. I have a video called The Ultimate Guide to Journal Practicing on my YouTube channel, so definitely go check that out if you're interested. The next thing to help you be a better person every day is to do something that makes you feel alive. And this really just means romanticizing your damn life, girl. Like, can we stop having a boring life? Like I ebb and flow through these things, okay? And like, I'm sure you do too. But like discipline, I get it, to be consistent and to show up for yourself, and it's important, and masculine energy is important, but sometimes it's a little bit boring, okay? And sometimes we have to do the boring things, okay? I'm not saying every moment of your life is going to be super fun, but let's try to do more things that make us happy in our lives. And simply, if like waking up in the morning and your morning routine is fueling your body and making a coffee and going on Pinterest, but making sure that you actually take action after you go on Pinterest, okay? I'm not saying go on Pinterest and scroll for hours. We're not doing that. We're not escaping, okay? But like having a little vibe going, or like going on your balcony and like reading a little bit of your book, or talking to a friend, or just journaling and thinking about the life that you're creating, anything, I don't care. Or throughout the day, you go on a little midday hot girl walk and you're listening to a podcast. Or even if it's not every single day, if it's a weekly date with yourself and you're going to the beach, or you're going to read your book, or whatever it is, I don't care. Can you start doing more of it? Thank you. Because sometimes I get into these ruts, not even ruts, but I'm just like uninspired and not happy in life. And I'm like, but I'm the one choosing to do this. Like, I'm the one not doing things that make me feel good. So I need to start making myself feel good by doing certain things, like romanticizing my life. And right now for me, reading, going on Pinterest, posting, doing my content. I literally feel like it's Christmas Day when I post my content. I swear, it's just so fun. And I love seeing your guys' comments and everyone just like in such good energy. Recently, I have been testing out doing more vlogs, not vlogs. What am I talking about? I am doing vlogs on my YouTube channel, but reels. just like taking clips of my life because it's cute. Why not? The next thing to help you become a better person is to stop choosing hardship. Stop telling yourself things are going to be so hard. I just recorded a video before this podcast episode that'll be on my YouTube channel. It'll actually be after this goes live because it's going to go up on Friday. So definitely go check that out. But I'm talking about the idea of being ready. But in that video, I do talk about the stories that you're telling yourself and how you are the only person that is getting in the way of what it is that you want in your life. So all of the happiness and the joy and the relationship and the money and the everything that you are like looking towards and like, oh my God, it's going to make me feel so happy. You are the one in the way of that thing. And this is what I mean by that. You tell yourself a story as to why you can't have that thing right now. Oh, I'm not ready. Let's say for content creation, because a lot of you guys want to be content creators. And I talked about this in the video, so definitely go watch, especially if you're a content creator. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a YouTuber. Oh, like one day or like this, that. Why not right now? You are the only one getting in your way. You know how happy you would be if you were like Alicia, being able to wake up and do whatever the hell she wants to do and decide whatever day she wants to film a podcast episode and to connect with like-minded people and heal and inspire and help other people become the best versions of themselves in any sort of capacity, whatever it is that you want. Or you, I'm sure, would love to be that content creator that you watch every single week that's doing their vlogs and their self-care and their whatever it is they're doing. I know you wish that you could be that person. Well, guess what? The only difference between me and you, or that creator and you, is that we started. That we told ourselves that, you know what? I'm ready right now because I say that I'm ready. I don't know all the answers. I'm not going to be perfect when I first start, but guess what? Considering this is what I want anyways, I might as well start. That's the energy that you need to have on yourself. Stop choosing hardship. Stop telling yourself that things are going to be difficult, especially when it comes to the gym, eating right, going out on a date, or like whatever it is, relationships. Stop telling yourself the story of how hard it's going to be. This is actually very true even in relationships. Like, oh my God, it's going to be so hard to find a guy who's going to give me what I want. And like, I want this home or I want this marriage. And oh my God, it's just nothing. Okay, well then it's going to be hard. Yeah. So that's it for that. The last thing on my list, which is a little bit different, but I figured it was really important because this is, again, something that I think that I really do prioritize, and that is setting yourself up the night before for your morning routine, like so you can have a better day in the next day. Because like honestly, I don't know, I think maybe just like a hack in life is to stop putting so much focus and attention on your morning routine. Although a morning routine is great, but for me, I don't talk too much about morning routines. I have a video on that because they differ a lot, but I can definitely talk more about them if you want, and I can also show you guys different ones that I have, because I actually have 1,800,000 morning routines because I'm a cyclical being and I move based off of my energy and my emotions, and I do what I want. But I think a very good hack to set you up, no matter what it is that you're trying to do the next day, is to start the night before. Because realistically, if you feel like crap, if you have really shitty thoughts, if you are just like low on energy, it's going to be really, really hard. Not to say that you can't do this, right? Because not every day is going to be perfect, but it's going to be hard for you to get up and do the things that you need to do the next day. So I really make sure to set myself up at night to go to sleep in a very peaceful way, I guess. That was a weird sentence. I don't know why it came out like that. But like for me, I have a little routine around like 9ish is when I really try to like dial things down. So I mean, like I don't need to be scrolling anymore. Maybe I'm watching a show or maybe I'm editing something, but like I'm putting things away. I'm lowering my lights so that I'm getting the vibe going. I always do my dishes. I would say 97% of the time. Last night I actually did leave them, but that was it made sense to leave them that night. But I'm always making sure that I do my dishes. That's like my signal to my body that I'm going to go to sleep. So I do my dishes. I make sure I do my whole dental hygiene. I make sure my skincare is done. I'm making sure that my room is very cool. I'm making sure that I'm grabbing my book. Now I'm reading off of a Kindle, which I freaking love. Right now I'm reading, oh my God, I don't remember what I'm reading. I'm going to have to like say that another time. But I just make sure that my environment is very clean, because I find when I wake up in the next day, whatever it is that I'm doing or not doing, I feel way more inspired and motivated and ready to take on life when my environment is clean. When I leave my place a mess, even if it's like a little bit of a mess, it really does mess me up. So for you, it might not be cleaning because maybe you don't have a lot to clean, but like, what is one thing that you can start doing to signal to yourself that not only is it ready for bedtime, but that will help you be able to not only go to sleep, but wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. One thing I want to start doing is supplementing with magnesium. Magnesium is a very good supplement to help relax the body. I do have a lot of magnesium and a lot of supplements, honestly, but that's something I definitely want to incorporate into my night routine. But honestly, just pick one thing and do it, okay? Thank you. I just had to take a quick break because I was exhausting myself. Sometimes I do that, by the way, is I take a quick break like in between the podcast, because talking sometimes can literally exhaust me. And I was on TikTok actually, which is so funny because I just said that I hate it, but I had posted a video today. So I was just looking at something. And I also wanted to mention that like with how everyone's super annoying on there, like I also used to be annoying too. I think for the most part, all of my videos have been pretty good. It's not like I regret talking about what I used to talk about more on TikTok. I talked a lot about feminine energy and dating and relationships and stuff, but I do think that what I said was actually correct for the most part, but I kind of moved away from talking about like feminine energy dating tips and like this, that, even though I really actually do still live by those principles and I love like living in feminine energy, and I look at relationships from that standpoint and feminine and masculine energy, even when it comes to work and things like that. But there is kind of like a bad rep with dating coaches and feminine energy, and like even talking about soft life sometimes and luxury. I wasn't ever talking about luxury living, but anyways, some of the very fad type of terms or talking points sometimes just brings in audiences that, well, at least for me, I just realized like probably was not necessarily my audience fully. I know a lot of you guys are still with me from TikTok and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that because like even me, like if you saw some of my videos, like maybe that doesn't resonate with you. So just don't listen to me, you know, even for my podcast and stuff. Like I try to now do my best when I am talking, no matter what, I'm going to have a bias and I look at life through a certain lens. Not everyone has the same thinking. Not everyone should. But I try and do my best to kind of empower others to like think for themselves in a way and like give themselves confidence to just decide what they want to do versus being like, you only need to do it this way. But obviously I still have thinking of being like, the way you should do things is you deciding. And that technically is a belief. Anyways, I don't know. I just thought I would just come on there and say that. Anyways, also, I don't know if I mentioned, but this shirt that I'm wearing is from White Fox. I think I did. I don't know. All right, let's read some of the things that you guys said. I had asked you guys, what do you do on a daily basis or regularly to help you become a better you? The first response I got was always be kind and non-judgmental. And I think she meant probably to herself and also to others, or at least that's how I'm going to take it. And I think that that is such a good thing to live by, honestly. And I think that we are way more judgmental than we even think. Even myself, right? I do it a lot less now, but sometimes I will notice myself when I'm noticing something else about somebody. It doesn't even have to be in appearance based, just like what they're doing or what they're doing with their time or like whatever it is. If I go and see something, I naturally want to kind of fall into that negative judgmental like side. And I always catch myself and I'm like, it's literally like, first of all, you don't need to be like this. You don't need to judge somebody. And what I usually try and do now when I go out, if I see somebody wearing something or doing something that I probably wouldn't do, I try my best to just like not only give them the benefit of the doubt, but just like allow people to be who they are and realize that they're still a great human being, even if they're wearing something that I wouldn't wear, or like they're crazy, or like somebody's on the street freaking out, or, somebody just cut me off. Like I try my best to not even be mad at that, because I'm like, you know what? They're going through something. Or people just like to spend their time doing certain things, and those things are not something I would want to do. We don't need to be so judgmental and critical. And I honestly think the more that I learned to heal myself and love myself and nurture myself, the easier it was for me to stop judging everyone else. That kind of just how it works. You become the change, and then you kind of just like reflect that back out, and it gets reflected back to you as well. So I think that's a really good one. Practice not judging other people so frequently. And when you do start to see yourself judging, try and pick something that's positive about that person that you can say, and like bring yourself back to the positive, or to the present, or really to something that's more optimistic. And this is not something to be mad at yourself at when you do this as well, because we have so many crappy beliefs sometimes, and so much negativity, that it's no wonder that you kind of fall into that side of being judgmental. But this is where the work is, and this is where it starts. And eventually you will come to a point where you're not really that judgmental, and you're more positive, and it won't be such a hard thing to do. But when you're trying to reprogram yourself and your focus, it's going to take some active watching of yourself and redirecting. Someone said going to the gym / movement / stretches. Actually, like multiple people said different things. That's why I just put /. And somebody said, no matter how tired I am. I think that's a really good one too. I think no matter how tired I am, for me personally, if I'm really, really tired and I'm drained, I do listen to my body, but I still will move my body some way. I usually go on a hot girl walk, or I'll move obviously move my body. I will do stretching or something. And I just think that like when we start looking at wellness as something that's good for ourselves, and it's not a punishment, it becomes so much easier for us to just do it even on the days we don't feel like it, because it's not about us having to feel super energetic to be able to get this hard workout in so we can get this outcome. And if we don't get the outcome, then we're not going to be valuable or worthy or like happy. When we drop that attachment to the outcome, and we just realize this is something that we should be doing the same way we brush our teeth, it's going to be so much easier for you to get up. And this is not to mean that you're going to go into the gym every day and have this insane workout, but you're going to at least decide to do something that's less strenuous, like Pilates today, or let me try a yoga class, or you know what, I'm just going to go on a hot girl walk and go for like an hour walk, like anything. But when you look at it as being super attached to the outcome and punishment, when you don't feel like going, which you probably won't, because you're going to make the circumstances so freaking hard for you in the first place, you're just not going to want to do it, and then you don't do it. And like, that's not what being a wellness girly is all about. Like, we should be doing these things because they're important for us to do, to move our bodies. Like we just, that's not like, if you just think about like how we used to be when we were in the olden days, why do I use that word? That's not the right word. Whatever. When we were like cavemen and stuff, okay? We moved a lot, and we got outside, and we got in the sun, and we ate animal products. I know a lot of people are vegans and stuff, so like we're not even gonna get there, but okay, let me take out the animal products thing. We ate food from the earth, okay? Not processed crap, junk, staring at screens all day, ruminating in negative thoughts and thinking and second guessing ourselves and stressing over a guy who didn't text us back and like doing these weird behaviors. Like, we didn't do that. So like, let's go back to who we were before all of this crap. And I don't mean obviously we're going to go and like live back in caves, but I don't know, something that I've been really thinking about again, now that I'm 27, and I just like, I want that slow living. I've always been a wellness girly though. I will say that from a very young age. When I first started, it wasn't for healthy reasons though. But it's been a part of my life for a long time. And now, like, if you just watched my vlog of It's Not Too Late to Have a Healthy Girl Summer, I was talking about how one of my goals of mine is to source really, really good quality food now. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been going to the markets. I've been getting like organic food and very local, and trying not to shop so much at the big box grocery stores anymore. My main goal was to source a butcher that has grass-fed meat, grass-fed, grass-finished, very local meat. So that's something that I wanted to do, and I'm doing, and I just can't wait to continue to do that, even living in Toronto. But I also just like think about my suburban home and like my neighborhood, and like going to the market every week or wherever and just buying local food and fresh food, maybe making my own, like growing my own. I don't know. That's a little too much though. Like, that's a little much. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be doing all that. But like I cannot wait for that. Someone said being present. Practicing being present every day is great. I think something that really helps is to some point in your day, put down your freaking phone. And this is how you can start, because if you have a phone addiction, I swear to God, it's hard. And like, this is my job, so it's very hard for me too. Although I still think I have a very healthy relationship with social media, even though I'm on social media all the time. I really do. Like, I don't scroll on Instagram. I look at some people's stories, but like not that much. And I really don't scroll. And the only time I spend on social media is really on YouTube, and I only watch YouTube videos that are inspiring me and motivating me. Like, I actually don't have an attention span to sit and watch things that waste my time. Which I guess is a good thing, but it's kind of interesting because like people usually do the opposite. They can't like sit through like an educational thing or sit through something that's like important to them. But for me, like I cannot, it's really hard for me to waste my time. So I have a pretty healthy relationship. But anyways, one thing that you can try and do is if you really can't like put away your phone for an hour or like 30 minutes or whatever, it's just like way too much. Try to do something like try to put away your phone and put on a timer, and you can go on YouTube and literally type in like a 1 hour study with me or a 30-minute work session, play the music, and then go do something that has nothing to do with like your phone or something that's usually stimulating you and probably stressing you out. Like for me, I do that a lot when I'm trying to write my book or I'm trying to work on a course or I'm trying to do something that doesn't involve like something that my mind is usually on, or going for a walk and leaving your phone at home, or actually maybe bring your phone with you. Most likely bring your phone with you, but like, I don't know, put it on airplane mode or something. Just like detaching and being more present. I know sometimes like it's not really you being present when you're working on something, but I don't know. I think that can just be like a bridge habit for you to start. Another thing that Kelly actually said, a friend of mine, she said that she journals and she pulls tarot cards and she uses them as prompts. So that's a very good idea. I don't actually, yes, I do. They're like goddess cards. But if you have tarot cards or something, that would be a cool idea just to use them as prompts. Like look at the card, if you know what that means, the tarot card, or even if you don't, journal on that and see what comes out of that. See what creative energy can come out of that and the wisdom and the insights. Like when I'm journaling, when I'm thinking about something in particular and I just like can't stop thinking about it, I will literally either in my notes app or on my journal, I will just start writing on that specific thing and I'll be like, holy crap, I just came to a midlife crisis in a good way. And sometimes I just think about a certain situation that I'm going through, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. And I just ask myself, what is the lesson right now that the universe is wanting me to learn from this? Simply, because there's always a lesson. Someone also said journaling, whether or not I'm having a good or bad day, which I kind of already mentioned as well. I think it's so important to just upkeep your mental diet, your mental health. And especially when you are somebody who's more susceptible to, having bad days or just getting triggered easily, or you're anxiously attached, like, girl, you got to do that work, A lot of you guys said that you listened to my podcast, and I think that is so sweet, and I love you guys. And like, I'm just so happy that so many of you listen to my voice weekly to get your mind right. Like, I love it. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Someone else said to take really good care of my oral/dental hygiene. Yes. Okay. I talked about this I think I talked about it in my rich girl era, like I don't even know what the title was, and probably another episode, but I had a very lengthy journey with my dental health. I had a lot of cavities when I was younger. I didn't take care of my teeth the best way. We had no insurance, no anything. And I had to do a lot of work on my teeth. And especially when I got into the world of wellness, like, oh my gosh, when I learned so much about oral hygiene. I used to be a girl who was like scraping her tongue before anyone knew what scraping their tongues even meant or what that was. I did oil pulling in like 2016. I was really on that game. And so I hyperfixated a lot, which again, definitely wasn't the healthiest, but I also just committed to first of all, I committed to making money and saving my money and getting all of my cavities filled, anything that I needed done for my teeth, like cleaning everything. I did not care. I didn't care if I was going to be broke. I was getting my teeth fixed because I was like, absolutely not. I want beautiful teeth. I want healthy teeth. I need to. And what I did, by the way, as I was going through that, I was grateful for the teeth that I did have and how amazing my smile still looked, even though I wanted to close my gap, even though I wanted to do all this work on my teeth. I had so much. I still remained positive through it all, by the way, but I got really focused on taking care of my dental hygiene. And then of course, all the money that I had to spend, like getting my teeth done, mainly because I just did not have benefits. Obviously, I take very good care of my teeth now, but yeah, it's really important that you take care of your teeth. So making sure that you're flossing, making sure that you're brushing your teeth 2 times a day. Sometimes I'll do it multiple times a day. If like for some reason, midday, I had some chocolate or like candy, instantly I'm brushing my teeth. Like I can't, like I am not letting freaking candy sit on my teeth. Sometimes I'll do it after coffee, but if I also brush my teeth and then I had coffee, sometimes I'll just use a mouthwash. I go for routine cleans on my teeth, and I don't want to hear about y'all not having money because y'all have enough money to go to Starbucks and post on freaking social media damn near every week. Okay, well you add that up and you save up that money and you can use that to go get your teeth cleaned even if you don't have benefits, okay? I know this is harsh love right now. I get it, but I was there. So I'm kind of being harsh because I also I was able to do it. And not to say that you can do it because obviously our situations are different, but I'll tell you this, girl, I did not have money back then. I was in debt. I had the worst spending habits. I was not making a lot of money at all. I literally came from no money at all. Okay. So if I could do it, most likely you probably could do it. And this is something that you're going to have to just remind yourself that down the line, if you do not start taking care of your teeth, saving up the money that you need to save up to get your teeth, whatever it is that you need to get done, girl, you're going to lose those teeth. And y'all want to be like, it's fine, I'll just get veneers later in life. No, if you don't need them, don't get them. Okay. Do the best you can. And I'm not trying to also listen, I'm really not trying to judge anyone on where you're at with your teeth journey, not us talking about teeth. And whatever it is that you want to get done, but just save your money and do it then. There's still things that I want to do. I'm still considering getting a Invisalign and something done with my gums. But that's irrelevant. The main thing that I wanted to focus on was taking care of my health of my teeth. And that doesn't matter about how they look. Like the Invisalign and getting things done and reconstructed and cool things done to your teeth. Great. That's pretty and perfect and amazing. But I just cared about my health of my teeth. And you can kind of have wonky teeth and still have very healthy teeth. And I focus on that more than anything else. I will talk about the aesthetics afterwards, but am I healthy? Am I freaking healthy? Ask yourself, are you healthy? Do you take care of your damn teeth? Go to the dentist if you need to, okay? Somebody said pray for 30 minutes. That's amazing. And I love that. And I think that's kind of the same as a journal practice or connecting to whatever it is that you have. I think that connecting to something, if not just yourself, will really ground you on the days that things feel a little bit chaotic. Someone said skincare routine daily. Yes, honey. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. You don't need to have a million steps to your skincare routine. You definitely do not. But I just think that having the habit of taking care of your skin in some capacity daily, whether that's just in the morning or the nighttime, I think it's you're sending out signals to the universe that you are worthy of being taken care of. You're showing up for yourself. So that's how other people are going to show up for you. If you don't even expect yourself to show up for you, or you don't show up for yourself, how is it that other people are going to do that for you? How are you going to even recognize or even value that from other people? You're not. So do something for your skin. Something, anything. I have been loving, oh my gosh. For some reason, brands are just loving to send me skincare, which I'm here for. And I've really, I like skincare over makeup for sure. I don't really wear a lot of makeup. Like I'll put some blush on and some mascara, but for the most part, I catch me not wearing anything. But I do like glowing skin. Recently, I've been loving the Charlotte Tilbury eye cream and the toner and the serum, which is linked on my Like to Know It. They did send it to me. This is not sponsored. I tried it I'm on my 4th week now. I used it all throughout Calgary where my skin was dry as hell as soon as I got there, which I already knew was going to be. And my skin, it just looks so glowing from those products. Fresh Beauty also sent me a whole new line of their, I don't know what it is. It's the pink, the rose type of one. I don't know. I went to an event and I forget what it is, but I haven't even touched any of it yet because I still have the Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm just taking my time. So I'll definitely let you guys know how I like everything, but the soy cleanser from that line, I've been using forever and that's really good. I think that is very light and it doesn't strip the oils from your face the way some do. And I also love the SRV Biotic Cream, which I think is hands down insane. I absolutely love it. Someone said, talk to myself as I talk to someone that I love. That sounded really weird coming out, but essentially she talks to herself as if she's damn lovable. Okay, think about this for a second. And I'm just going to assume we're all basically like this, okay? I know not every single one of us is like this, but majority of us are like this. You unconditionally love other people so much to a default. It's kind of like sometimes I'm just like, fuck, like there's a line, okay? And I'm saying this to myself, but to you guys as well. There's definitely a line. But we really unconditionally love people. We accept people. We just let them be who they are. But we don't do that for ourselves. Why? This is insane. This is insane behavior. And we need to stop. And on top of that, you need to start looking at yourself like you are deserving of other people unconditionally loving you as well. Of other people choosing you the same way you will constantly choose somebody else. You need to start looking at yourself like somebody would also choose you. I was thinking about this the other day, and I think a lot of us have this issue. Sometimes it's not about, okay, let's like look at this in relationships. I'm just going to use relationships as an example. Some of us girls who are independent, who do the healing work, who show up, who are into self-improvement, which is most of us, we know that we're kind of most likely better than any other girl that the guy is probably going to date. And I know that sounds bad, and we're not about to like compete with other women and stuff like that, but this is okay. I don't know. I'm just going to give you like kind of my experience. That's kind of usually, like I usually know that I'm probably like the best that guy's ever going to get. Now, to be fair, I will say this. I am not for every guy. So there's definitely guys that I dated in the past where I actually think that another girl is better for him because like we weren't compatible. So I'm really not like trying to put myself on a high horse here. But in general, we kind of know that we're really good. Like we're really good girlfriends. Like we're healed for the most part. Like we do the work, we're committed, we unconditionally love, da da da. But I think the issue sometimes that we have is looking at ourselves like we would be picked by someone else consistently. It's like, yes, in the man's eyes, we can see that they look at us like we are technically the one, but we don't end up like holding on to that relationship. And I really do believe it's because some of the times we believe that we are not worthy of being chosen over and over and over again and unconditionally loved over and over again. And like a man will stay with us. Like we have this issue with keeping things. It's like, yes, I know I'm going to be chosen, but are you going to stay? And I think that when we have this type of thinking, it's because we don't look at ourselves like we are worthy of being consistently shown up for. And why wouldn't somebody want to consistently be with you and marry you and stay with you? And honestly, this is something that I've reframed in my mind, okay? And I don't know, maybe this will help. Maybe this will absolutely not land. But knowing what you know about yourself, and you can really recognize that you're like probably the best that someone's ever had, or in general, like you're up there, you're a great girl, great girlfriend, you'd be an amazing wife, amazing mom, like this, that, and the third, whatever. Think about it like this. The reason why somebody is going to continue to come back to you and stay with you and not want to leave you is because you are like their home, okay? I want you to look at yourself like you are somebody's home, because the truth is, you are loving. You are accepting, you are nurturing, you take care of your space and your spouse's place and your whatever, right? Like realistically, you are home, okay? You are home. And when a man feels and experiences home, if he's obviously a good man, right? And like a decent man, even when he leaves, and I mean leaves because he literally has to go to work or he has to go live his life or he's like not codependent on you, like we're talking about healthy relationships right now. When he leaves, trust that he's going to come back, because you always want to come back to a home that is beautiful, that is nurturing and warm. Think about your place. This is what I do. I think about my own home. I never am mad when people cancel plans because I am so good chilling in my living room and like vibing in my place, or like staying home and reading a book and just like, I don't know, watching Netflix if I watch Netflix, or going on YouTube, whatever. I love my home. I love making food at home. I love doing my skincare at home. I want to work from home. Everything. I love everything about home. Of course, we want to have a healthy attachment to our homes. So we should be okay with leaving our homes the same way a man should be okay with leaving the home. But I always know, and I always crave to come back home. There's never a time in my life where I'm like, I never want to go home. Now, of course, maybe when you're a teenager and you're having fun out, you're having fun and you're out and whatever, and you don't really want to go home, but eventually you want to come home. Now, of course, you want to be with a man in a relationship where there's a healthy level of him going and him coming back, but you want to look at yourself like you are a home, okay? And so if you're the home, then who gives an F about anything else? Because this man's going to come right back to you because you are home, and this man needs a damn home. And this is not to create a picture like to try and make you think that you need to like be somebody's home and like you have to be somebody for somebody. It's not about that. I don't know. It's just a reframe that I think about, and that helps me sometimes because I have been an anxious attachment type of person in relationships, and I've had to heal from that, and I've had to learn how to have secure attachment styles. And when you have a secure attachment, somebody's not going to always be constantly validating you and constantly keeping your anxiety at bay, by the way. And it's just not healthy. Like that's not what happened. So how do I self-soothe myself? Well, there's many different stages of healing that. And some people might be like, well, I shouldn't have to tell myself that. Well, guess what? You might have to tell yourself that at some point. And what has helped me is to tell myself and remind myself of not only my worth and my value, and like, of course I'm fucking amazing, but like, I am this man's home. Okay? This man's not going anywhere. And on top of that, I enjoy my home so much. I enjoy myself so much. I've made it so amazing that who wouldn't want to be here? And on top of that, I enjoy this time even when he's not here. Okay? And that's the energy that I want you to have for yourself, whether you're literally in a relationship or not. You are home. Okay? The last thing that someone said is, let myself rest even when there's something that I could be working on. That is chef's kiss. There's always going to be something that you have to work on, especially if you're a girly who loves self-improvement and wants to work on a business and goals and this, that, and the third. There's always going to be something to work on, but at some point you do need to allow yourself to rest and relax. And even if it's not necessarily relaxing and doing nothing, you want to switch your focus onto doing something that is bringing you into the present moment, like nurturing your relationships, your friendships, your hobbies, something that has nothing to do with your work. And I know it can be hard, but it's so true. And then on top of that, you have to cultivate the voice inside of you that's going to tell you in the times where you feel like you should be doing more, that it's okay that you're not. But no one's going to do that for you. You have to do that. You have to become your own best friend. You have to be your own lover. You have to be your own home. You have to be your own everything. And the more times you do this in practice, watch what ends up happening in your life without you having to try and chase and fix and mold and change things in your environment. Yes, of course, it's going to require us to take action to get the things that we want in our lives, but we take way more unnecessary action than we even need as females, as feminine beings. And it's kind of flawed. So, anyways, that's going to be it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed. There was a lot of rants and things that I went on, but yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching. Also, don't forget on Spotify to let me know what you liked about this episode. I really like the feedback. If you want more episodes, I was also thinking, like I've kind of mentioned before, maybe to do an extra episode in fall, winter time, just doing more chit-chatty updates. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Anyways, love you guys. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.